Oh, goodness. All right, you guys are in for a treat tonight. So we're going to do a little bit of weather, and then we're going to talk to Jodi. And you're going to get to talk with Jodi and see what a Canadian thinks about all this nonsense. All right, we're not talking about just the weather either. So, all right, so first of all, though, we'll get to business, and we're going to do a little bit about the weather. So hang in there for a second. Okay, got my whistle wet. Let's see. So you guys are joining me tonight from Twitter, YouTube. Both Facebook pages would be the private group page. So again, thanks you guys for all of your support. They are my Facebook fans, supporters, and Patreons. And you also have the main Facebook page as well. So like I said, we're going to do about weather. It won't take long. I'm going to say, I know, you're already laughing. No, seriously, when I tell you 5 minutes, it may not be 5, maybe closer to 8. But I'm going to cut this rather short tonight. And then we're just going to hang back and talk. So you guys can come in and out. If you got things to do, come back and join us. We're just going to hang out, chill, and we're going to kind of change the mood a little bit here for today. We all need a little bit of a break, you know what I mean? So we're going to have a little bit of a break. All right. First things first, you probably hear because we got some rain and thunder out there, and you're wondering about some severe weather. Well, let's find out if there's going to be any, shall we? So let me minimize this. By the way, can I pause myself? You're probably going, what are you talking about? I got so many things going back here. I don't think I can pause myself. Let me see. I can pause myself. Do I pause the comments, though, when I do it? Oh, I do pause the comments. Well, that doesn't do me much good. All right, well, I'll have to unpause when I get back. How's that sound? Okay, we'll try that out. All right, this is just to help alleviate a little bit of CPU burnage. Okay, so that's enough of that. Let's get on with it. So first off, here is a look at the live radar, and it does show quite a bit of rainfall out there, and we've got rumbles of thunder here and there that you may pick up on, and some brief heavy downpours, but that's it. There's not going to be any severe weather with this, so this is a nothing burger, as they say. Temperatures are quite chilly out there this evening, but the good news is these clouds and raindrops are preventing us from seeing a freeze tonight. We had a freeze last night, a pretty hard one for many of you across most of central and northern and western Oklahoma. So a good chunk of the state, about the southeast third, from roughly right about this line right here, did not see a freeze, but everybody else did. And is that the last one of the season? Read my blog. I posted on my website, which is linked to my Facebook page and also on Twitter. So you can check out all the details in the long term. We're just going to focus on the short term tonight. That way we can keep this short. And if we have time later on, you guys really want to know, we can talk about all that fun stuff later on down the road. Okay, so let's close this down. Let's see, close. That's not what I wanted. How do I close this thing? How do I minimize this thing? Okay, you're going to be a punk. Let's do this. More than one way. Okay. So here's the deal for tonight. There's your rainfall forecast. That'll be moving on through all of central Oklahoma and northern Kansas and Texas. That's moving out of here toward daybreak in the morning, and that's it. And some pretty good rain out of it, about a quarter to half an inch as you travel farther east. So by the time you wake up Sunday morning, most of it will be out of the state, kind of lingering in the far eastern corners. And if you look at temperatures in the morning hours, we're into the 40s rather than 30s, so that's good news, or even 20s. And then Sunday afternoon, we're going to rebound quite a bit into the, let's call it upper 50s here in central Oklahoma, with some 60s sneaking in, especially out across western Oklahoma. So we'll get a good rebound. So Sunday looks like a good day to do a little bit of planting, if you know what I mean. A little bit of gardening, that kind of deal. And then we're going to see what happens as we head into Monday. Here's the severe weather prediction from the Storm Prediction Center. It does have a big yellow area here in the body of Oklahoma. So what does that mean for us? Well, could it mean a little bit of hail, a little bit of wind, and maybe even a tornado? We'll see. Here's a look at the outlook, kind of shrunken down to the Oklahoma version. It does extend on into North Texas. And even if you're watching me from Tulsa tonight, it does extend on into the Tulsa area for a slight risk of severe weather. And that's for Monday evening into the overnight hours. And there's the categories: large hail, damaging winds, and a few tornadoes possible. Now, the key word here I want you to highlight on is possible. The terminology you're going to hear from me tonight is the big word called potential, because there's a little potential, but does not mean it'll be realized. The other night we had some potential. Guess what? Really, for the most part, wasn't realized. That's good, though. So that does happen here in the spring. All right, let's move on. I'll show you why. This is a look at the dew point values. This is a measure of raw moisture coming out of the Gulf of Mexico down here and trying to surge northward into Oklahoma. It's all about timing. The upper level storm system is coming in late, as in late to the party, which means it doesn't arrive into the state until well after dark on Monday. Usually when that happens, your severe weather potential goes way down into the toilet. And we like that here at AT's Weather. We love toilet bowl weather. So if you forecast this in through time, I'm going to show you how that moisture kind of surges northward. Focus on that kind of bluish area. All right, those are low 60 dew points. And they're trying to come on in. And look at this. Boo, they finally kind of come in Oklahoma. Here is Monday right around the Red River, around 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. And here they're finally into central Oklahoma after midnight on into the 3 a.m. time frame to 6 a.m., moving on in as the next cold front position here starts to move south and kind of trying to dry this thing out. But, so the key is this last surge right here good enough to do something? All right. In other words, we're going to get some severe weather out of that. All right. Well, let me tell you. Let me see. Is that a little premature? That's a little premature. Let's close that down for a second. I don't want to jump to conclusions yet and just show you all the good stuff. I got to make you wait for it just for a minute. Okay. Let's see. Let's do this one. What do I want to do? Here's a look at the severe weather guidance first off on an analog situation. In other words, if we look back, we try to compare similar type patterns. The data shows a very low probability of severe weather. We're in the either nothing to 20 to 30, maybe as high as close to 40% in parts of southwest Missouri, parts here and there. So it's not a huge, this is only for one event. In other words, that's just a probability of just one severe weather record. That's nothing. If you look at the probability for 5 severe weather records, it almost doesn't even exist. Let me show you that. So here's 5, and it's even sadder. So again, it's a very low probability event, but hey, we like low probability events. This is a look at the probability event for tornadic type activity here in central Oklahoma in the overnight hours from Monday night into Tuesday morning. And it's got it barely registering at 10%. All right. Now it's not at 90% probability. It's not even 50. It's 10%. So that's pretty good odds that pretty much nothing's going to happen. That's what I like to see. We're keeping it down to the, like I said, toilet. All right, let's go on to the actual output of the data. So here's a look at our high resolution model as it takes a look at the rainfall for tonight, moves it out of the state. Like I said, this is the morning hours. You can see how it's still struggling to kind of move into the Arkansas border. Then it's out of there shortly after that. So most people, you wake up Sunday morning, you won't even know it was raining. As we head into time, let's head into Monday afternoon into Monday night. Wow, what happened? Nothing. Models didn't produce any storms. So go figure. They got that little cold front action. Let's see, let's use this down here. Trying to trigger some storms here by 3 a.m. as this front moves through. So there you can get that. Remember that highlighted area is up close to 40% for one severe weather event? There you go. You can easily get a little bit of wind out of that or small hail. That could classify into that category. But you can see there's nothing happening here in central Oklahoma. Let's take a look why. And this is why I didn't want to get too far ahead. We'll go to 9 p.m. All right. So 9 p.m. is where most of the conditions are favorable for out in western Oklahoma. Let's take a look here at the forecast sounding. What we have here, that's a shame. Big old cap. See that? That prevents thunderstorms from forming. The shear is actually really decent, all the way up and all the way down. So in other words, not bad for rotating storms. However, over here it's a little weak. Indicates that the updrafts would collapse. Okay, so that's what happens around 9 p.m. Let's go on over to midnight hour. We'll go here into central Oklahoma as things progress from the west. What do we have? Shear looks pretty good, but again, huge cap and pretty decent shear and a huge area of weakness in the wind field at 2 to 4 kilometers. So again, that means nothing. We're going to go to 3 o'clock in the morning because that's the last ditch hurrah that we'll see any moisture around here and any chance for a storm. And I'll plot on the eastern side of the metro. So the sounding says, hey, a marginal tornado probability. But at the same time, it also has collapsing updraft strengths. It has weak low-level wind fields and still a cap. So there you go. That's the reason why the model did not produce any storms for Monday night. So yes, there is a severe weather risk, but it's so low that the models can't even produce storms with it. Now, Is it still possible for 1 or 2 to break the cap out in Southwest Oklahoma and kind of hang together at least for a little while? You bet. Typically, that's what kind of happens, especially as we get later in the season. This is kind of early, so we'll have to see what happens. But this is the first stab at all this stuff in the model data, so we'll see how it goes over the next couple of days. Here's another look at what I like is a Texas Tech WRF, and I like to use it in combination with the one I just showed you. And if the two kind of align, my confidence level goes right up. And they align, but they align for dry. No storms for Monday night. So there you have it. And this stream is going in and out. Oh, that's irritating. How's that stream on your end, Jodi? Is it still working? All right. Okay, good. All right. So sometimes my stream flashes big bright colors. Okay, so let's minimize that. And let's get you back up here to reality. All right, well, come on in. So let's do this. So I'm going to bring Jodi in. And we're going to switch. Yeah, because I'm a little jumpy there on the Twitter. I saw that on the feed. All right, so kick that chair on over. Let's see here. So I'm going to bring her on in. Oh, I got to make some room for you.
Right.
Oh, sorry. Let me suck it in.
Right.
Okay. Let's see. And then I'll give you 10 minutes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm push the play button here. That way we can get the comments going. Because I don't know if the comments will work if I don't press play. But you see all that little jerkiness?
Yeah.
Oh, that's no good. So I'm hoping that goes away.
Okay.
Let's see here. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so there, it seems to be working pretty good. All right, so we have to kind of check that on my end. Like I said, sometimes this computer gets a little bogged down because I got so much stuff going. All right, so we've done this before with our patrons on the Facebook closed group page. So with considering all the events that have happened here recently, we thought, you know what? Why not just hang out with you guys for a little bit? Where is the chat on YouTube? I don't see it. Let me refresh that. I don't see a YouTube chat going. It's technical difficulties tonight. You just sit there and look pretty, and I'm gonna get all this figured out. Okay. So if you guys had any comments, by the way, I wasn't able to see them because I was busy looking at maps. So there's some chat stuff. Yo, holla, Senor Aaron. Hold on, it was Senor Erun. Hola.
Whoa.
Yeah, this was from Sergio. So listen, Sergio, you don't know this, but we had Mexican food night.
We did.
In the house. We played some Mexican music from Alexa.
Yeah.
And you cooked some killer something or another. What was that called?
Crunchy tostados.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Oh, shut your face. Crunchy tostados. So we felt like we were at a Mexican restaurant. Really good. Even had the smell in the kitchen going.
And nachos and salsa.
So good. Okay, so let's see. Let's move on. Thanks, by the way, for you guys for Twitter and YouTube and leaving comments and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so Sharon and Denise, Elizabeth, they all say, hi, Jodi. They say, Aaron, can you please go away? We'd like to talk to Jodi tonight. And you know what? That actually might happen tonight. I actually might do that.
No.
And then, again, you guys are welcome to kind of come in and out if you got to go put the kids to bed or something. It is Saturday night, and it is almost, 10 o'clock? Trust me, it's going to be way more interesting than the 10 p.m. news. Don't even turn that on. You need a break from the news, trust me. David says, glitching a little bit on Facebook, which should be good now because I'm not getting more dropouts on my end, and I stopped some of the stuff I was doing. So we'll see. Let me know, though, if you guys are still having some trouble, and I'll have to look more into it. Oh, let me close this, too. There we go. All right, anything to help free up some stuff here. So they can't see this. Only you and I can see this.
Okay, good.
So don't get too worried over here. They have no idea what I'm doing. It's probably a good thing. Okay,
Right.
there we go. All right. Okay, so what do you guys have, question-wise, for Jodi? So for those that don't know, Jodi and I have been dating since, a little over 2 years. And she's from Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you from? You got a big W on your shirt.
Winnipeg.
Winnipeg?
Right in the center.
Right, due north, straight shot.
Straight north.
So
I-35.
she knows that one really well. So actually, it's not bad when it comes to traveling. Some of you may be wondering, how in the world do you do long distance dating into Canada? and that is a long trip, but it's a short trip, especially for flying. I mean, you're in and out typically out of, let's see, what do you like? You like Minneapolis better?
Yeah, well, I did.
Yeah.
Because they had Dairy Queen.
Oh, because it had a Dairy Queen, and they closed it. Or Denver. And but Dairy Queen's usually a shorter flight. Dairy Queen's a shorter flight. Oh my gosh.
Well, it makes for a shorter flight. And wait time.
So, yeah, Minneapolis is a shorter flight. Denver's a longer flight.
Correct.
Liz wants to know, how's the remodeling going? Okay. You know what, Liz?
Okay.
Listen.
Liz, that got put on hold.
Now, let me just tell you, the corona hit just in time to stop this remodeling business. Yeah. We actually had a good time doing it just because, it gives you something to do. But it was some long days and nights and weekends crammed in there. And
busy.
We were beat.
Busy.
Yeah, you go to bed like you've been run over all day. Right. But the yard looks a lot better. It has what you call what?
Curb appeal.
Yeah, there we go.
Curb appeal is important.
Apparently, Aaron was lacking the curb appeal area.
Oh yes.
Aaron's a little busy. And you were very instrumental in helping get some sponsors this year.
I was.
So I'm very thankful for that because all this stuff does cost a lot of money. And I've been funding it out of my own pocket, so it's nice to have a little income. And you guys also that helped be supporters, both from Patreon and the Facebook fan subscriptions and the donations through PayPal and stuff are awesome. So between all that, it's actually getting you back on the positive side, which is good.
Yeah.
So
it's fun. It's good.
So she's enjoyed it. Because what do you do for a living?
Sales.
But as in what position?
Homes. I sell big homes.
Big home. You don't sell little homes? What about tiny homes? You sell those tiny homes?
No. Oh, but I saw one. I've seen one tiny home.
Yeah.
In Winnipeg. Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
How can they live in that thing up there?
I'm not sure, but they did.
Oh,
I don't know how many people were in there, but
it's cold.
It's a thing.
It's a thing? That's a thing down here, that's for sure.
People want to downsize, get rid of clutter.
That's what you made me do.
Oh, yes.
That was part of the project. Here, why don't you go through this closet you haven't gone through in 10 years?
Right, let me help you. It was long overdue.
Oh, there's still a couple boxes left to go through of stuff.
Right.
Are you stranded here for snow? Sandra wants to know.
No. Not stranded here for snow.
And Denise wants to know how long you'll be here.
Well, I was expecting to leave in a couple weeks, but with the quarantine or the lockdown of the borders, I don't know, I might stay a little longer. You know what? I'm better off being here with Aaron instead of being back at home.
Right. So that was one of the. Let me think of something. Okay. Yeah, that was one of the deals. Was her original plan was to have. She stays here during the winter time up through about. Is it 1st of April usually, roughly?
Yeah, that first weekend.
Because then that's the real estate market kicks in a gear in Winnipeg. So she's got to be there to sell the houses. And then we travel back and forth about every 3 weeks from that point. And so it's good to get her back so she can get those sales going. She kind of works on phone calls just to keep contact while she's here. And then all that stuff kind of happened. So it happened like really good timing for us because that we get to stay here and it's the two of us, versus just a lot of isolation from each other.
Right.
So it's good to have family and friends and stuff. Obviously, if you have to deal with a lot of being homebodies, and because I just started teleworking for our job, which was the first time they told everybody telework, don't go in the office. So I'm like, okay. So we all started teleworking, and I guess it's okay, if as long as you have somebody with you.
Right.
And you don't want to kill each other.
Right. Well.
Yeah, But if I was here by myself, man, that'd get really boring.
Right.
So, I don't know. We'll see how this stuff goes. If you're asking me for inside info, I got none for you. I follow all the, numbers and all the stuff on them social media, trying to make sure I'm in the loop, but that's about it. And then I tell her to stay away from it because she'll start to get very emotional, worked up, and I'm all logic-based, so I just want to know facts, like numbers, statistics, that kind of deal. So that's how I stay calm and logical through all this, is I look at actually what's out there, compare it to other events, look at the age groups that are affected most, how it's spread, And once you dig into all of that stuff, which is hardly talked about, it's in the noise. It's in the dirt. In other words, there's a lot of panic over very little bit of an outcome. And the reason why I can tell you it like that is because, remember, I do that all the time anyway with tornadoes. So if I tell you, there's going to be a tornado in, Oklahoma City Monday night, for example, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. There's a tornado coming to Oklahoma City. All right. Then I tell you that your odds or probability of getting hit by that tornado is like 0.008%. You're going to be like, what? What's that? I'm like, it's nothing. It's in the noise. In other words, it's not even worth worrying about. So that's how I deal with the probabilities, and that's how I keep you guys calm, and so that's how I keep myself calm when something like this were to happen. Right. And that's how I keep you calm.
Exactly.
So if she's me jumping around like a crazy person, buying all the toilet paper in town, then she's going to start getting worked up.
I'll just start baking.
Oh, really? Well, maybe I have this all wrong. What are you going to bake?
Oh, my gosh.
Her baking is so good.
What's left?
Oh, my gosh. Getting a little pudgy, though, around the middle. Yeah, you cook some really good stuff.
Right.
And a lot of it's all from scratch.
Oh, most of it. 95% is all from scratch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So how are you guys doing with the panicking and the viral stuff? Are you freaking out? Do I need to bring you down off the ledge? Or have Jodi bring you down off the ledge? I mean, you guys can talk amongst yourself and all this, and that way you can kind of calm your anxieties or fears, or just seeing what each one of you is doing. We've gone to the grocery store a couple times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, Jeremy says, so I feel like Crest tonight.
Oh, yes.
And you saw us getting like, what, 4 items, 5 items?
Yeah, very few.
It wasn't very many. So we went out to, yesterday. So Saturday, so in other words, we have our normal food we normally eat.
Yes.
Right? And I said, here's the deal. I said, let's get it like up to 3 weeks worth of food that we normally eat. Not because I don't think there's going to be an issue, just because I don't want everybody else to buy it before we get a chance to get what we need just to eat on a normal plan. I'm not going to buy a year's worth of food, but I want 3 weeks worth. Because that's kind of like I used to stack it up anyway. It was getting a little low on some stuff. So we basically went like on, what do you call it? What do you call it when you're hunting around for something? A little game you play?
Scavenger?
Scavenger hunt. Yeah. So we went a little scavenger hunt. Went to what? How many places did we go to?
3.
What was the first one?
Walmart? No, Sam's.
Sam's.
Yeah, we went to Sam's first.
Sam's, then Walmart.
And then Walmart, and then Crest.
Then Crest.
And then...
Did we go to neighborhood Walmart too?
No.
That was the next day.
That was today.
Or was that when we went to Brahms too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we get some ice cream. Oh, that's 4 stores in one day.
Yeah.
That was a whole outdoor... and
adventurous.
And it was entertaining. And honestly, most people were pretty civil. Here in Oklahoma, at least, most of us are pretty civil anyway. So the media is making it sound like if the world's ending and everybody's going to rip each other's face off, and that may happen one day, but not in Oklahoma today,
right? Or
yesterday. So we were good. We got what we needed. We even got a little small roll of toilet paper.
Right. Yeah.
Because didn't need any really. I know Brahms does have the best ice cream, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Sharon's got an immune compromised boy, been isolated for 9 days. Whoa, I hear you. So, probably the worst thing that upset me the worst was the human reaction to isolation.
Right.
So, like we watched first, our pastor, Craig Rochelle from Life Church, he self-quarantined for 14 days because he was in contact with someone who had the virus overseas in Germany at a conference. And I checked in with the guy I know, and he said he's doing fine, and actually, and everything was okay before he announced that he was no more isolation, because it was kind of the middle of the week. But in his discussion, he was talking about how difficult it was being by yourself, just with your own thoughts, and really bored, and that was just for 14 days. And he said your mind kind of starts to do stuff like that. So even as a preacher, he knew that was difficult. And I'm sitting here looking at some of the video that came out of China from the Wuhan area, and those poor folks are isolated for 6 weeks, 7 weeks. And they were just screaming, like at night. Like the buildings were half dark. They're all just screaming. That's all they are, because that's all they can do. It's like releasing all this anxiety, and you can't get out. You can't leave. It's like being in prison. I don't know what all the other conditions were like over there, but just that alone, I just said what happens to the human spirit once you're basically trapped, and just, ugh. And again, they may have been cut off from their phones, so they might not have our luxury of phones to keep you occupied, and of course they got their state-run TV that they got to watch. I don't know. I would not want to be in that position, is all I'm telling you. Yeah. So that was probably the most upsetting thing that I've seen, just from those that are having to deal with it, other than, of course, if you get sick or pass on. Let's see. So that was another thing I saw, like for Oklahoma, for example. On the stats, I think it was 50. Last I saw, it could have changed, but I think it was this morning or today. I think they mentioned Oklahoma City, or Oklahoma itself, was like 53 people died. They never tell you, at least unless I've missed it, the age of everybody. But for most of the reports I've seen, they're all elderly, over the age of 65. So in Oklahoma, I don't know if they're all over the age of 65, but I'm sure the majority were, if it matches the rest of the world statistics. And in that, they had about 500 or so test negative. So what that tells me, just looking at the data, is there's a lot of people that either have a cold or a flu, but are freaking out and swear they got the corona and they want to get tested. And that takes away tests from people that probably actually do have it. So it's tough because everybody's freaking out, thinking the minute they got a cough, they got to go. Or some of them might need to be worked up anxiety to where they think they got to go get tested. So it was just an interesting statistic. I'm not going to read too much into it, other than there's a lot more that don't have it, but they're freaking out and they think they do. And they probably have the standard cold or flu, and the flu was bad this year anyway.
Yeah, it was. Started early.
It's still going around. So you could have the flu, which is similar symptoms to the virus, and there you go. Okay, so there are more 18 to 49. So Katie. So that's the other thing, and it's tough. I encourage you to turn off the TV as much as possible and stay away from the media, because you have to understand the media is based in fear and anxiety, because it drives your actions, which is to watch. Therefore, you can become a consumer. Therefore, you can look at the advertising revenue that they bring into you as well. So it's all in other words, it was saying when I worked in that field was, if it bleeds, it leads, which is horrible. But I know it's horrible. But unfortunately, that's the human nature. They want to gravitate toward gloom and doom, so the news just feeds it to you. And so as long as you're going to gravitate toward gloom and doom, they're going to give it to you. So you're going to get very little positive news. You're going to get very little specific breakdowns. Like, I want all science stuff. I want all age brackets. I want the age. I want how many underlying conditions they have. In other words, all that stuff then tells me, okay, I'm good. I'm average, healthy. I'm in the good age group.
Right.
How many actually, actually have it versus how many that thought they had it. In other words, how many tests are testing negative versus the percentage are actually testing positive. So if it's 1 positive out of 10, that means 10 people are freaking out and 1 person actually did get it. So in the end, it's just numbers. And all those numbers, the more you can have, the lower those numbers are, the lower your anxiety can come down. So it's like the tornado thing. We're not all going to die. It's just, you look at those numbers to get some sanity. And then if you can't handle all that, then just turn it off. Like I asked her just to quit looking at it.
No, but it's everywhere.
Every
really platform I open.
It's like today, it's like, well, let's get our checkup on the coronavirus today. Like,
what's happening?
Yep, still out there, still people. Yep, okay, well, let's go about our business. It's really strange. It's I kind of constantly just check in off and on throughout the day, but it's never anything new other than, what's closed today? That's the only new thing. Is what's
exactly.
And I feel for the president and the other world leaders, because they're caught in a rock and a hard place, and I'll tell you why. Economists, you have economists, and then you have the science side or the medical side. The medical side is like, shut the world down.
Right.
Everybody quarantine, no one go out, everything's closed, shut down for, and they'll say 14 to 28 days. That's it. That's how you contain the virus. Well, the economist says you do that and you crash the entire world economy, including the U.S. So they fight, and they have to somehow blend together. And so that's why you see little steps at a time. You'll see, okay, now we're closing the restaurants and bars. Now we're going to close, this city for this stuff. We're going to close traffic for this stuff and close the borders for this stuff. So they kind of monitor it and then see how much is helping. If it's starting to slow it down, they're going to try to do as little as they can, because none of us want to lose our jobs.
Right.
None of us want to have our entire retirement go up in smoke. None of us want to be in a depression. So they're doing the best they can to kind of balance, and they look at numbers, and it's a terrible thing to say, because you're still looking at death rates, right? But there's some type of acceptable death rate versus a complete economic collapse, all right? And one's going to take precedent over the other, and they're going to look at all the other things that take human lives, from drunk drivers to just going to the store and having an accident, to any number of diseases, any number of natural disasters. Human life, trust me, there is no guarantee you live the minute you're born onward. Every day is a blessing that you're still breathing. Make the most of it. So, one thing's for sure in life, two things: death and taxes. You've all heard that joke before, and it's true. We all do go at some point. That's obviously we usually don't go when we're ready. If we all knew when we were ready, then it would defeat the whole point of the deal. But they try to make light of that, but at the same time they put it in perspective, like the flu does. And everybody gets on people for saying it's like the flu. Look, the point of that comparison is the numbers. The symptoms actually are pretty similar, but it's the numbers of, we don't panic for the flu, but why are we panicking, shutting the world down for this virus? And if the virus is down here in the 1%, death rate, but the flu is in the, 0.5%, but more people get the flu, so you have a higher overall death rate. It's like, how do you balance those out? So there's a lot of, it's the whole thing's a mess. There is nothing pretty. So when people yell at each other, they're angry and they take out their anxiety on other people, and they're, either whether they're grocery shopping,
right,
or you're yelling at the president or the government, just because you stink, you can't do your job. Honestly, put yourself in those people's shoes making these tough decisions. I wouldn't want that on my worst enemy. I feel for anyone that's
unnecessary. Yeah.
So those are some thoughts going on my head. Take it with a grain of salt, or if it helps you out, use that. They'll even take your taxes after you died, Sharon. I know it's terrible. Now, one of the things is interesting is you're going to find, for those of you watching, that you're going to be in two camps. You'll be in one that's in the faith-based, meaning you've got that thought process of, I know where I'm going when I die,
Right.
and God's in control, and my life belongs to Jesus, and then therefore I'm not worried, all right? And then you have the other camp that's not saved, or it's not in that faith-based, and they're worried, because they don't have that afterlife type of zen, if you will. So they're kind of more in the anxiety-driven mode. So if you're kind of watching this and you're like, why is there such a split difference, in this country? That's one of the main reasons. It's which way ever you want to go. So we're both on the faith-based side, so
Right.
that's going to kind of weigh into some of my critical, logical thinking also, so I can stay sane, think of this rationally. So what I do is I watch little things day in, day out, and if I need to make a little adjustment, a little change in something I do, either my behavior and what we need for supplies, or protection, or whatever that may be, sure, I'm going to be cognizant of that and pay attention. But
Right.
the whole thing's a mess.
Oh, agreed.
Oh, so tell them about Winnipeg and how they're doing up there, even Canada in general, from what you've seen.
Right. So, where I'm from, they've issued a state of emergency. So, all of Manitoba, Winnipeg, Manitoba, is all under a state of emergency for 30 days. They have, I think, 2 deaths reported now, but there's only 15 cases where I live in Winnipeg. Other parts of Canada, of course, have higher numbers because they have a higher population, but for the most part, me being in the center, it's controlled.
Because you're at one of those big airport hubs where they come in from overseas.
Right, so Vancouver has a lot coming in from overseas, Toronto has a lot coming in from overseas, Montreal is a major hub. Plus, they have the borders right there. We have North Dakota, Grand Forks, Fargo. That's our border, North Dakota. So.
And then traveling to and from, they say.
So the borders are closed to non-essential travel. So they're, of course, allowing all the truck drivers to and from, all the transport of goods, commercial goods, to keep that flow moving. And they figure for 30 days they'll have the borders closed. That's what I read today, but it's a day-by-day basis. Our premier's always giving a regular update, daily update, keeping us all informed.
How are your stores doing up there?
So our stores are, well, from what I've heard and what I've seen on social media, they're pretty vacant. They're pretty empty. There's lineups outside waiting for toilet paper, sanitizer. So same here.
Yeah.
Same as what I'm encountering here. Empty shelves of canned goods and rice and cereals. Apparently it's the same back home as well.
Yeah, it was funny because we saw that happen like right when we were doing it. I mean, they were like ahead of the curve.
Right.
I'm like, why are they panicking? They haven't had a case yet. This is back when the early days when Canada wasn't even affected, and they're already clearing the shelves. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
And then eventually, and I think it's because they didn't have any leadership come out and actually kind of calm the herds and the masses. In other words, Justin Trudeau, their prime minister, was absent there for a few days. And it turns out he was self-quarantining.
Right, because Sophie.
Because his wife got the virus, supposedly. At least,
Right.
At least that was a rumor. I don't know if that was confirmed or
Yeah,
not.
that's what I read.
And then he started coming out doing discussions after he had a call with Trump. So we're laughing behind the scenes going, this is what happened. Trump called him up and says, hey, knucklehead, you're going to do exactly what I tell you. You're going to do everything we do. You're going to do it a day or two after and follow my lead.
Right.
Because we're basically joined at the hip, and if you go down, you're taking us with you, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So we're in this together, so shut up and do what I tell you. So this is kind of how we figure things are going on, because if you don't know anything about Justin Trudeau, there's a lot of jokes up there about him as well. I think every country probably makes jokes of their leader.
Of course.
And some of it's probably based in truth, and some of it's probably just all, nonsense.
Right, yeah. Of course.
So I'll scroll through and see some of the comments. It's hard to... last time I blew these up so I could see them.
Right. Because we're going to get up close and personal.
Yeah, because I'm over here trying to read this.
It's small print.
Right. It's like tiny print. You guys have no idea.
Oh, goodness.
All right, that didn't do anything. Okay, there it goes.
Oh, boy. It's extra large.
Okay. I think I froze my computer.
Oh, boy.
Okay, I made Facebook 500% too big.
Uh-oh.
I was pressing too many buttons. Okay, I don't even know what that is.
Okay.
Let's close that off. Okay, so hold on there. Let me see how this is going. Will you be taking a chance? Will you be taking any deep state questions tonight?
What?
Just join. Is this Mrs. Tuttle? Mrs. MRS.
Oh, right.
Oh, we'll work in that direction.
Not yet.
Teammate, hold on, no pressure. We already tried this once before. Everybody's like, you better propose tonight. I'm like, hold up there, Sparky. This isn't like the flu. I hope people are taking this seriously. My husband works in the ER. Samantha Hill. And actually, it's interesting because you played a video from all the scientists. Was it Singapore that put it together? It was actually really good. So it goes day by day of what your symptoms are. And it was like, I think it started with this cough or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was Singapore.
Yeah, so it started with the cough, and then it was interesting each day. You get like an extra symptom. And then the symptoms get worse. And then it was day 4 or 5 or 6, it starts cranking up. Like it's really painful. Hurts to swallow. Because you can still eat and everything. Unlike the flu, or you can actually still eat even though it's sore, and then at some point it gets so sore you don't want to eat or drink.
Right.
But yeah, it sounded horrible. But there's been some similar of stuff going around like that over the winter anyway. And I do feel for all the doctors and stuff that have to deal with the influx in patients and all that. Okay, so let's shrink this down.
Let's make that a little smaller.
I know. Well, this thing got a little carried away. Right? Okay.
Jody's company longer.
Okay, so truckers, right? Man, truckers got to keep on going. If the truckers stop, that's when you guys should start panicking. I'm just gonna throw that out there. That's when you want to rush the grocery stores because if they can't restock the shelves, then we're all doomed. So that's what you pay attention to is the truckers. But the truckers say they're going to keep on going. They've got no reason not to. So Scott, Bethany, they said being faith-based has helped, and watching Pastor Craig go through it helped as well.
Right.
And agreed. So closed borders just means you get to enjoy Jodi's company longer, Amy.
Yes.
Oh, that's true.
It is.
Actually, I told her, look, there's no reason for you to rush back because unfortunately, they kind of messed up your real estate market right now.
Yes, of course.
So I was like, look, I said, there's no reason to hurry at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only, well, that and then you can visit for how many days?
184.
Oh, yeah?
6 months.
It's not 183 or 182?
I think it's 184. Yeah. Anyways, in June.
Who's counting?
I'm good till June.
You're good till June. So anyway, so there you go. So she can only stay for up to that amount. Now I told her, I said they'll probably waive it just because of the
right.
Yeah, you know.
Agreed.
Right. Okay. So this.
Okay.
I don't know why this is all like. I think because I made it so big.
Right.
Hold on a second. It's 110.
Oh.
Oh. I don't understand. Here we go. It's weird when you try to blow up a Facebook page. It doesn't. It's not cooperating. You know what? I bet you if I'm gonna say something else. I'm gonna go off this and go to a different way to view this.
Say something else.
Well, I mean, you do the talking. I'm just gonna sit here and look pretty.
Okay.
So I'm gonna change pages.
I left Larry up on the couch. Otherwise, I would have brought him with me.
You didn't bring little Larry?
No, he's up on the couch.
Aww.
I know.
He's probably out cold.
Oh, probably. He had an adventurous day with us.
He did. He didn't get any naps?
Nope, all the car rides.
Oh, I should go get little Larry.
And then we did the smoked barbecue yesterday, so he had a bone to chew on today.
Oh, that's right. He was in heaven today.
Yes.
Naps?
Nope, all the car rides. Oh, goodness.
Okay. I gotta mute that. There we go.
Okay. Good.
Okay, so I've lost everybody's comments up to the last, 50. So I'll go back to the top of this. Does Jodi bodybuild with you? She looks great. Angelina wants to know.
Oh. So I do compete. I haven't. We took last year off to compete. Bikini bodybuilding, though. So, no plans for a show in the future with the gyms being closed right now.
Honestly, that whole thing wrecked the entire bodybuilding community. All the shows are canceled. All the gyms are closed.
Yeah.
By the way, your daughter says hi.
Oh. Hi, Corliss.
You can't really... You can still kind of diet and you can still kind of train, but not show-ready training or dieting.
Right.
So it's... I don't know what's going to happen to that whole industry. It's up in turmoil.
Seen a lot of videos for modified workouts for at home.
Okay. All right. You know what's funny is if I have somebody blocked, it comes in different.
Right.
It's weird, but they're still commenting. So I guess you can comment on a live feed. Anyway. Yeah, sometimes I block the overzealous that leave really ridiculous comments that don't need to be there. All right.
But why the toilet? Oh.
So reading some of your questions.
Why the toilet paper? Right. Why the toilet paper?
Yeah, I don't know. There were some people that experts that said that was a way for you to feel like you're in control.
Right. And
it was like a monkey see, monkey do deal.
Right.
If all of a sudden a few people are starting to buy it, well, they're like, well, I'm going to go buy it. Then the person sees you buy it, they're going, I'm going to buy it. And then all of a sudden, it's kind of like the thing on the positive side when something new comes out.
Right.
And everybody goes, well, I got to have it because so-and-so has it.
Right.
And in the end, you might actually hate it. It might be the dumbest thing in the world because everybody else is doing it, you're doing it.
Like sheep.
Yeah, it's probably the same kind of idea. I didn't run out and buy a year's worth of toilet paper. I just looked at how much we have. I said, yeah, that's what I normally use. And
right. Well, I did. I just so happened to be at the store at the right time, right place.
That's true. Let's see. Oh, man, I love the fact that the gas is really cheap.
Yes.
Here, too. Filled up with $1.40 today. Or $1.43 yesterday.
What are we drinking in the cup?
Oh, wait. What?
Justin Trudeau is... Okay, you went too fast.
Oh, he just said Justin Trudeau is hot. Or she did, Sarah.
Oh. Right,
I told
selfies.
Okay, listen, this is actually funny. I sent her a clip or made her watch. Not make you watch, but
Right.
I said let's watch Justin Trudeau in a movie, and you're like, what are you talking about?
Great.
And I said you'll see, and I put in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and said there's your prime minister, because Keanu Reeves back then looked just like Justin Trudeau in his earlier days.
Right.
They were like, swear they were twins.
Right.
It was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Where's Jodi from? Jamie missed it.
From Winnipeg.
She's from Winnipeg.
Winnipeg with the W.
Oh, she also wants to see Larry. Okay, so now that I got this caught up, Liz is like, refer your clients to realtors in Canada while you're here and get paid. Well, yeah, normally you can kind of work some of that stuff out.
Right.
Because they cover for one another anyway, because realtors, anything can happen. So they help each other out, but when they shut everything down and they close your offices, you can't sell homes.
Right.
So it's kind of a bad deal up there. All right, so let me go get little Larry.
Okay.
So those of you folks that hung in there, you're in for a special treat.
Yes.
Besides that, he probably misses us anyway.
Oh, I'm sure. So, Corliss, you asked what we were drinking. This is water with the Kool-Aid drops. Hawaiian tropical punch, to be exact. Do I ever plan on moving down here full time, Stacy? Oh, there's Larry.
Here's little Larry.
Oh,
He was out cold.
I bet.
Hi, buddy.
He had a full day.
Larry's full grown.
3.3 pounds.
Bring him over there.
Okay, there you go, buddy.
Oh.
Hi. I want to see you, buddy. Hi. There you go.
I'm going to close a couple things.
Okay. So it stops freezing up.
Yeah.
What?
So the king says, hi, what are you guys doing? We're hanging out with you. That's what we're doing.
All right.
We did the weather a long time ago.
Yeah.
I did the weather a long time ago.
You did, yeah.
And then we were just kind of hanging out, chatting, giving you guys something else to watch other than the news.
Right.
Let you check out of that for a while. Let you vent, talk to one another.
Right.
So, air out your grievances.
Mm-hmm.
Get some sanity. All that. Let's see. Out of all the stores you went to, which one's best stocked? Ooh, good question.
Hands down crust.
Yup. It's interesting because Walmart has a warehouse, but I think it's based in Arkansas. So the guy's got to bring it all here.
Right.
And don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's their location. But Crest, I guess, has theirs in this vicinity. So they're able to restock every day, overnight, during the day, all the time. So they were really good at having most items.
Mm-hmm.
But they were still suffering from low inventory on the typical stuff, rice, beans.
Cream of wheat.
Yeah, cream of wheat. Who knew?
Of all things.
How many people like cream of wheat? I thought only bodybuilders ate that stuff.
Right.
So, cream of wheat.
Right.
So that would be the answer to that one. But you probably have to kind of type around for that.
Oh.
He is cute. This your mom, Aaron? Debbie wants to know. Yeah, this is my mom. What the
Me?
hell? Yeah, what the hell?
Oh, right.
This
No.
Is kind of this, you're such a tool.
What?
Debbie. Yep, that's my mom.
Right.
Okay, that's how you get blocked. Sandy says thank you. Winco has been the best stocked of the stores I've been to. Oh, that's good. We saw Natural Grocers. I don't know what this is. Why would she type that?
I don't know.
And then say I didn't type that.
Mm.
Anyway.
Okay.
All right. Carmen says, I've enjoyed hanging out with you two. Well, good, Carmen. Thanks for doing that. So it was just something different. We thought we'd try something, you know. It may be a common thing to do,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just kind of change it up.
It's relaxed.
Yeah.
Fun.
Make it different.
Right.
Um,
I agree.
yeah, because there's only so much news I could take. And honestly, if it were to get worse, this would be like really needed.
Right.
Just so we can all still feel connected and not, you know, feel crazy.
Exactly.
How do you feel about meteorologist courses being taught online now? Emily wants to know. I feel sorry for those kids. Oh my gosh. You can teach a lot of stuff online. Boy, meteorology is tough. But you know what? Honestly, as long as they have like a Skype connection and they had a video deal,
Right.
it's really no different. The professor half the time is up there, at least when I was in school, writing on the board, back to you, writing out all these equations, and then at the end you're just like, professor, what's this? So then, you know, he can turn around and go, who's got a question? I don't know. I'm sure they'll figure out a way to make it work. But yeah, it's going to be interesting the next few weeks on how all this stuff's going to go down.
Mm-hmm. Right. I agree.
Jamie's got your back, Jodi. Said
Right.
seriously, how would she even look nearly the age of being Aaron's mom?
Right.
Stunning, clearly
Aw.
around his age.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you. Don't listen to Debbie. I am Paul Stowe's cousin. I was just asking if she was your mom or girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Because mom and girlfriends are very similar. All right, Debbie, you're going to have to go. You're really weird.
Right.
Paul, tell Debbie to stay off the internet.
Right.
All right. So, maybe Debbie's been drinking. Or needs glasses. I'm not sure.
Right.
Or some better Wi-Fi so you can get this in HD versus your 240 resolution. I'm not sure. I'm a 4.0 student until taking meteorology, my first and only C in college. Casey, oh no! You know what? I really enjoyed meteorology. Really good in all the classes. The tough stuff I had was the first level chemistry. Even though I took chemistry in high school, advanced, it was nothing like college, and so that was a shocker. I did okay. It's just I wasn't the straight A student I was back in high school, so I was like, hey, this is actually hard. And then there was some physics class that tore me up, and then a math class toward the end, which became theoretical, and it was such garbage. It was like it's past the point of application. In just in the fantasy world, and I'm like, why does anybody even have to take this class? This is the most worthless, pointless class. And so I didn't do well in that one. I did well. What was funny is I did well in half of it, but not the other half. In other words, I was able to grasp the idea of I think it was differential equations and something, but the other, and I can't remember what it was. I just could not get it, and I was like, at that point, I think I was a senior, and I was checking out anyway. I was like, I'm done with all this. So, let's see. Nan wants to say, thanks for the Saturday night party. You bet, Nan.
Woohoo!
Right. Let me go back over here.
We got this.
Yeah, we do. So Elizabeth's got your back too. She's like, what's up with that lady asking that question? And then Crest is local. And the warehouse is here, so it makes sense. Need sugar-free water drops and a couple of other things we can't find. Healthy-wise, Sprouts is stocked. Gotcha. I do know that everybody's saying go to the Asian markets to get loaded with food. And of course, you know, people are dumb because they'll think if they go to the Asian market they catch the coronavirus, which is really dumb.
Okay.
But yeah, they're loaded with food. So if you're missing something or need something, I've been there a couple of times, like years ago, because I was looking for some type of root or something. I can't remember what it was for. I think I was going to make my own. It was back when I was juicing.
Oh, okay.
And there was a certain type of vegetables you just couldn't find at regular restaurants, and so you had to go to an Asian restaurant to get it. So I went to the little town here in Oklahoma City, like the little where they have those supermarket type stores, and I went there and found whatever it was I was looking for at the time. So.
Well, they might have my bean sprouts I keep looking for.
So on Twitter, Jerrington wants to know that I missed any predicted severe weather for the incoming this week. Yes, you did. We did weather about 9:45, I think, this evening. You can read my blog, though. It basically is a recap of what we talked about on here. And then I'll stop this at some point. You can rewatch the replay, which is, I get right into it. It's only about probably 6-7 minutes worth of weather. All right, let's go back over to this page. I'm just flipping back between the 4 feeds, Twitter, YouTube, and then both Facebook pages. Jodi's beautiful, and Aaron is genuinely happy. As long as they are happy, which you can tell they clearly are, and Aaron is more down to himself. Aw, thank you.
That's really nice.
They got your back.
Right.
Okay. Let's see. We missed some up here on the main page.
Okay.
Don't mind the trolls. Convinced me that history is definitely the right path, Casey. It's tough. It's not an easy degree to get, that's for sure. Let's see. Brandy, do you think this fire could last a year? Okay, so this is some interesting stuff I read from South Korea. It was in Korean, so I had to translate with the Google Translator from the story. But their top economists, scientists, and there's 3 categories they had, and I can't remember the other one. They were having a roundtable discussion about this virus and going over the results that they had from their event. And what they said was the virus doesn't act like a normal virus. In other words, most viruses and colds and stuff like that are most contagious when you're at your worst of the symptoms. They said not this one. This one is just as contagious from day 1 as it is to the day end, meaning to the last time you have it. And they realized that after you went through your contagion period of your symptoms, you still carried the virus. It didn't go away. In other words, it doesn't expel out of your system. You still have it, and you're still contagious. So that was the creepy thing. And they were saying because of that, clusters should keep coming up off and on until at some point it all fades, and that would be until October, November, is what they were saying. And then I think the next day or that later that day, Trump announces for us it could go on until August. So I think they saw that report or saw that and said, well, we can't tell everybody November, they'll all freak out. So let's cut it to July or August, and that way it sounds bad, it doesn't sound that bad. But who knows, this is all still up in the air. Everybody's still studying it on the fly. Let's see. So I'm somewhat new, came around maybe last year sometime. Besides you previously meteorology on TV, and you do this now online, what do you do for your daily 9 to 5? Still meteorology work? Stacy. Yes, I work for the Federal Aviation Administration. So I work on a radar system called the Terminal Doppler Weather Radar. He is so cute. You can't see him though, because his little head's behind the Jodi. Aww, buddy. And so anyway, that's what I do for my day job. So we protect planes from crashing, basically, from the takeoff and the landings with the radar system that we use. And that stuff tells air traffic controllers whether or not to land a plane, divert, all that kind of stuff. And that gets passed on to the pilots. So that's the system I work on during the day. And that's why you don't see me during the day, because I'm on my day job. So when I do this AT's weather on the side, it's either on my weekends or my evenings, and then at lunchtime, sometimes I'll do a Facebook Live at lunch. And that's about it. Okay. Sharon says, a local farm will deliver meats, cheese, milk. That sounds good. Cindy says, cute couple. Thank you. Aw, thanks, Cindy. Frank says, you guys are awesome. Thanks, Frank.
Thanks.
CDC did an article on this. It is similar to the 1918 Spanish flu, likely to come in waves in a couple months at a time. Apparently you can get reinfected. Yeah, the issue is with that stuff is we still, you don't know. It's just, and that's why there's so many. What? What's out there, buddy? What'd you hear? You gonna get them?
Oh yeah, they can't see them.
Turn you loose?
Nice.
What? Okay. All right. Oh, come here, buddy.
Aw. He's fine.
Oh, he's fine. You can get him.
He hears somebody at the door.
Yeah.
If you go, you have to let him outside.
What?
Well, because
Is it time?
he's napping in the pee time now.
Oh, it's gotta go. What? It's okay, buddy. I scared them off. They're not coming back.
No.
Yeah. No one would ever come to this house with you protecting it. No. Scare the bad guys away. Yeah, such a good boy.
I know.
See?
It's protecting.
He's very protective. All 3 pounds of him. All right.
His bark is a lot bigger than his.
So Stacy, yeah, it is a fun line of work. What was the same place you released the weather balloon last year? I think it's around May 20ish. Amy. Listen to him.
He is fierce.
Mark says, spring outlook, I just got here. All right, Mark, you ready for this? Some days warm, some days windy, some days a little hot, some days a little cool. Off and on storms till the end of May, about the beginning of June. Some of those will be severe, a lot of them won't be. Torrential downpours, sometimes just sprinkles, some lightning. Sometimes we'll have winds in excess of 60 miles an hour. We'll get a few tornadoes. And we'll get some days where the hail is about the size of a grapefruit. And there'll be other days where the hail comes out on peas. And that's your spring outlook. You get that in Winnipeg?
We get all that in Winnipeg.
You do?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah. What? I bet you my app is going off right now.
Thunder.
Lightning has been detected.
That's right. If you don't have a weather app, it'd tell you. Say lightning's in the area.
AT's weather to go.
It's Larry doesn't like any negative comments.
Right.
Oh,
he doesn't.
Oh, goodness. Let's see. All right. Casey, do you like that spring outlook? It's the same one every year. It's real easy. I give it to you blindfolded. What I will tell you on a serious note is do not pay attention to the media when it comes to a severe weather outlook season, especially the ones here in Oklahoma City that tell you when you're going to see all the tornadoes in March over the eastern half of the state. And then they kind of move the circle around because that's not how that stuff works. It was just dumb. But I can tell you, every year we get tornadoes. Some years we get a few. Some years we get many. You take each day at a time. Use the best technology to stay safe. Watch guys like me that keep you safe without getting you all worked up. And that's it. Every year, same game plan. What? And then know where you're going to go when it comes to a tornado. So what part of your home you're going to seek shelter in.
Whoa.
Awesome. Thanks, Stacy. Yeah, I quit the media a long time ago, literally. 2007. I said, see ya. Slammed the door on my way out. I said, you guys are crazy. Can't take any more of this. Oh, my goodness. So, there he does love his daddy.
Oh, yes. He does.
He's content, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually loves his mommy more. He's just showing off for me. He's showing how tough he can be. He's like, Daddy, I can get him.
Yeah, I'll protect you.
I'll practice social distancing from tornadoes. That's actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you should practice social distancing from tornadoes. I used to not, and then I almost died from that. I almost caught the tornado virus, and I said, from here on out, social distancing. I'll stay right here.
And how would we have met?
Nice and safe. I know, that wouldn't have been good at all.
Right.
So, Mark enjoyed the spring weather outlook.
Okay, good. More to come later.
Right, stay tuned. Update you. Cindy says, I only watch you because you keep us calm and safe. Awesome. Thanks for telling me. Let's see. I do not watch my local weather anymore. I just watch you. I hate the hype. I hear you. My anxiety can't handle it. Mine either. My sanity can't handle it. So what happened was when I retired. Do you see what I see?
What?
Okay. All
Goodness.
right. Mary.
Oh boy.
What did you do in Daddy's office? Okay. Yeah. I can't believe it.
What?
Why would you do that to me?
Hi, buddy.
I thought you were innocent.
Yes, he had to go.
Turns in you snuck in here and did something.
Maybe.
Yeah. You snuck in here. You got the whole back door and the whole backyard all to yourself. And you say, nope, Daddy's office is the best. Now we're going to have a talk.
Aw.
We're going to have a talk.
And he had all those treats.
Yeah. And I gave you all those TREATs. Sorry, what was I talking about?
I'm not sure
I don't
now.
know either. I got sidetracked. How old is Larry? Larry's
2.
2 point.
Well, he was born in October.
Okay. So
October 14th, 2018.
And he's
3.3 pounds.
yeah. And he's of age.
Right. He's purebred. Purebred. Ready to go. He's not neutered.
That's right. So when I say he's of age, I mean he's a man.
All right. The vet's giving him the go-ahead.
The vet said he's a man. Let that man do what that man was born to do.
All right.
So, anyway, all right. Oh, I was talking about when I was retired, and then I got sidetracked. Yeah, it usually happens with me. Okay, so yeah, when I retired, what did I say? Where was I going with that?
I don't know.
You weren't listening either?
I wasn't listening.
Okay. That's the story of my life. You weren't listening to me.
It's usually the reverse.
Okay. Right. You were telling a story about after you retired. Oh, yeah. After I retired. Okay.
Right.
Thanks.
Is it?
Albright Chef. Okay. On Twitter. Okay. So, yeah. So I would turn on the TV of that first spring storm season, and when I worked at Channel 5, I would run the radar system, and I'd go pick out all the tornadoes, and I'd tell you exactly where they were and zoom down your street levels, because I got the station to buy this really high resolution radar upgrade that none of the other stations had. So we could pick them out and literally do it street corner by street corner, house by house, with I think 30 meter resolution, which is basically the size of your home plot. So that was pretty good back then. That was 2005, 6, 7. We had that tech, and so when I retired, and so 2008 spring season came up, and I'm watching the guys on TV for the first time, and I'm going, oh, zoom in, back out, show this, do that, and I'm sitting here yelling at the screen because they're doing horrible. They're not even doing it right, and I'm going, I can't take this anymore. And after, I think 1 or 2 seasons of kind of just looking at that, I said, I can't watch this anymore. And then, so I stopped watching, and I couldn't do it. And I just tuned out completely and just said, see ya, media. I got out of that whole deal for a reason, and just watching even irritated me. So that was the end of that.
Yeah.
But I would have the, when I worked there, we have an IFB in our ear. And so we can hear all the news stories, and of course we can hear the directors talking to our ear, or the producer. And when I wasn't close to my weather hit, which is usually 3 minutes or 4 minutes into the newscast, and then about 14 minutes you do a tease and do a commercial, and then at 17 minutes after you have your weathercast. So when I was out of those little time slots, I take my FB out because I didn't even want to hear what was on our own newscast. It was so terrible. And it was terrible meaning it's so pointless. Tonight at 10, experts weigh in to tell you how to brush your teeth. And I'm thinking, if you don't know how to brush your teeth at this point in life, from either a child to an adult level, me at 10, 13, telling you how to brush your teeth with what toothpaste, I put an ice pick in my eye. I can't deal with that. Look, I'm sorry. There's some things that you need to inherently be able to do on your own to survive. Brushing your teeth is one of them, and you can't do it unless you watch the news. You got a problem. I got a problem. The news has a problem. So I had to check out. I couldn't take it. So I wouldn't even listen to all that stuff. So when people would ask me, hey, what was on your news last night? I said, I don't know. I don't watch the news. And that was literally my answer. I still don't watch the news.
I don't watch the news.
And then I was able to stay away from it. Mm-hmm. And then it all got on social media. Mm-hmm. It's now I got news clips all the time. I'm just like, I'm sucked right back into it. But I tell you what, my life was so much more peaceful and tranquil without having any news in it. And you think, well, don't you know what's going on in the world, the latest? It's like, nope, actually I really don't. And I feel so much better because there's so many things I couldn't control anyway. And me worrying about it or getting worked up over it or fighting people over it, over opinions, I'm like, I got more important things to do. So.
Right. Agreed.
Jennifer says, so sorry I missed this. I'll watch it later. Looking at comments, do we get to keep Jodi longer? Yes. And actually, I'll probably just turn Jodi loose and I'll just disappear.
What?
You can hang out.
What?
What?
Like right now?
Well, at some point. Not tonight, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
okay, good.
Yeah. We'll make it a planned event.
Right, of course. Okay.
So, Allie's mama says, I only watch David Payne because I find it so funny how worked up he gets when there's a tornado. I get my accurate information from the app in your live feeds. Awesome. So a lot of people, what they do is they'll double cast like a picture-in-picture on their TV. And so they'll put me on there and then the TV station. Mm-hmm. And then they'll have me turned up so I can keep them calm. And then they'll have the other channel so they can watch the helicopter shot. Or have some entertainment, one or the other. But what's funny is I was friends with a lot of those guys, and since I started competing against them and calling them out on their BS and how much drama they're starting over nothing, and they're basically lying to you, they're no longer my friends anymore. They stopped talking to me. And that's like, yeah, whatever. Look, I call you out. That's the way it goes. If you're going to fib, lie, stretch, create fear and anxiety, and it's for nothing, guess what? I'm a scientist. I'm going to tell you that you're lying. And I'm going to tell you what the science is. It's the way it goes. If you have a problem with that, well, then I guess we're not friends anymore. It's nothing personal. It's just you're part of the problem. You're the reason why everybody's get all works up during tornado season every year. So I'm the antithesis to you guys. So that's how I really feel, if you want to know. Why won't any other weather person speak about chemtrails and weather geoengineering? Okay. T-Mac wants to know. Well, that's because there's nothing to talk about. If there were, you'd have at least a few rogue people talk about it. And the reason why we don't talk about it is because we all learned about it in school, how all that stuff is created in the atmosphere from jet exhaust, ice crystal formation, certain temperatures that are needed, pressure differences, all that. And then so we know how this stuff's created, so then we know there's nothing behind it. So that's why there is no chemtrails like you're thinking in the conspiracy world. It's a great conspiracy, and I love a good conspiracy theory, but that's unfortunately one that's not true. Now, same thing with geoengineering, any of that stuff. Now, I will tell you this. You'd be a fool not to think that man still isn't going to try. So, the military's always got secret projects around. They're always trying to do something to get a leg up or an edge up on, the competition or their adversary. All right, so you've always got that. But so far, the only thing that's been successful. Ooh, that's an exciting strategic advantage. I'm like, no, it's actually for farmers. And that's just when you put silver, I think it's silver dioxide in the air to create raindrops, give them something the moisture to cling to. And that creates rain downwind of where you disperse it. So that's about as close as you're going to get to a chem influenced outcome. And that was to make it rain. Crystal says, Jodi and us girls can have fun on a live. There you go.
There you go.
So tell you what, we'll do it for the closed group page. How about that? For my patrons. So it'll be a little bonus content.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys would like to be a patron, you can just sign up. The link is in this description. You can either be on Patreon platform or you can be on the Facebook platform, fan subscriptions. And then you request access to the other Facebook page and I'll get you on there. And then you guys can have a girls' night out. And I won't even be
virtually.
Virtually. Well, we're all going to be virtually if we're all stuck at home.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, so there you go. So it works out. And I'll get you a bottle of wine. You can set it right here.
What?
And you guys can hang out till the bottle's empty. And then just find me another room when you're done.
Oh my gosh.
Me and Larry will be hanging out. And he gets really heavy.
He's 3 pounds. Come on.
My arm's getting tired.
Come on now.
Okay, hold on there. Easy.
All right.
Easy with the guns.
Okay.
Ridiculous.
I gotta get you to do some more work outside.
What? You call me soft? You saying I'm shrinking?
No. If 3 pounds is light or getting heavy for you.
Listen, I don't know how you girls carry around those babies 24/7. They're heavy.
And how about our purses?
And your purses.
Never
and
mind the
everything.
babies.
I'm not made to carry around stuff nonstop. I need some breaks.
Right.
Okay.
Just the dumbbells. And
Right.
the barbells.
Carry those dumbbells and barbells, but they're just like seconds at a time. All right, so World War II was used, not conspiracy. Bill Gates, Pentagon, Black Ops. Now they're saying we need it for climate change purposes. Okay. First off, climate change is a whole bunch of malarkey too. If you buy into that, and you think giving all your tax dollars away to a government is going to solve something, I got something I want to sell you. It's a membership right here. And you can join it. It'll have just as much of an effect as climate change as anything else. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I don't say a lot about that because it's become so political, and everybody's got to pick a team, pick a side. And it's just I'm so over it. I'm like, why can't we always get along? Okay. All right. Let's see. You guys have any more? You guys have any more questions for Jodi? Because really, that's why you're still here. It's not for me. You see me all the time. Maybe you got a question for Larry.
Okay.
What do you think, little man? Okay. Let's switch arms.
Okay.
Whew.
Maybe I should just take him.
Maybe you should. Why am I holding him?
Carry him.
He stopped barking.
Yeah, the thunder stopped. That's why.
Remember somebody at the front door?
No. There's nobody at the front door.
I hear rain again.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm living with a scaredy cat when it comes to rain.
What?
What? Oh, I'm sorry. Was I talking about you?
Me?
Yeah.
Scared of the rain? I love...
Wait. What'd you say today? You said you don't like the rain.
No.
What'd you say?
Don't like the rain.
Right.
Don't like wind.
Right? What else? Thunder?
Thunder.
Lightning?
Lightning.
And you want to live in Oklahoma with me?
Hey,
Okay.
listen.
I'm just saying. Comes the territory.
You can at least prepare me when it's coming.
Right. She's my weather app. It'll tell you. That's what I do. I said, she asked me, so is the storms coming? I said, what does map say? Why don't you open it up?
Right.
And then I catch her watching a stream of some lady doing weather in Tulsa. I'm like, what are you watching somebody else do weather for? Because I don't know. It's on the Google when I open up my phone.
It's on Twitter.
Okay, we'll take him. He's getting
Okay.
antsy. Oh.
Yes.
Oh, buddy.
No.
You're getting heavy. You can lose a
He's
pound.
not.
You can lose a couple pounds.
He can't.
Oh. Okay. Now he's hidden behind the little banner.
Right.
He's over there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's frozen up because I have it on pause.
Okay.
So we don't... I mean, I could press play probably at this point. I don't know. Okay, so let's see any other questions. Cindy says, well, good night, you two. Thanks. You bet, Cindy. Thanks for coming by and hanging out with us. Mark, right. I only have 12 years left to live, so love your puppy. High for more. Oh, thanks, Tara.
Yeah, thanks, Tara.
So Frank says he heard more thunder. And then Stacey says, I had a class that dealt with talking a lot about global climate change, although we're still clear of anything political. Well, that's good. Here's your answer. The climate has changed all the time, from the day the Earth was created until the day that the Earth will disappear with us on it. Every day.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
See?
Stacy, I feel you, Jodi. Thunder can be scary, especially when it catches you off guard.
Right in the middle of a deep sleep. And that big boom wakes you up.
Listen, I sleep right through it. I hear it. I go, oh, that's some good lightning. That's some heavy rain. And then I go right. I mean, I don't even think I come out of my deep sleep.
Okay.
I was only slept once when we had tornado sirens go off, though.
What?
I shot up quick. I was like, this is a long time ago.
Whoa.
Because it wasn't expected, and then it happened. And I wasn't working at the TV station on that shift, so I wasn't paying attention to what was, I think, supposed to be there that night. I think it was my night off or weekend off or something. And that changed my mind real quick.
Right.
Frank, 4 a.m. of the morning. So there was a tornado, I don't know if it touched down, but it was a tornado warning. Actually, there may have been some minor damage. I think I did see a picture on social media. Was it Okemah? It was over there in eastern Oklahoma. There was a tornado warning early in the morning for that event that other night. That was the only one, I believe, of the whole state. And then I think there was a tornado that did happen. A warning happened, I think, in far southeast Oklahoma, but nothing out of it. And then it turned into a tornado when it went to Arkansas. So I think those are the only two. I didn't really look any further into that. Brenda says, hi, guys. Hey, Brenda. If you're just joining us, you are LTTP, which is late to the party.
Right.
But you might have been here a while, just hanging out quietly.
True.
So I've got to post that that thing I shared on Twitter today, which was about conference calls. If any of you have ever been on a conference call, it can get really dumb as far as all the things that happen. And there was a video going around of everything that does happen, and it was hysterical. All because all of it was true. But to see it all condensed in a 3-minute window with actors involved, it was hysterical. So I'll put that on my page just for some comedic relief.
Right.
So when I'm done with this, I can do that. Give you something to laugh at. We're supposed to go watch a comedy show on Netflix, weren't we?
Yeah.
What time is it?
It's still early.
It's so early. It's 11 o'clock.
Yeah. Do you
Okay.
have to work tomorrow?
Funny. Actually, I don't. We can sleep in. Woo! All right. Listen, guys, thanks for sticking around, hanging out. I think we're going to sign off and call it. So, appreciate your questions, though, and listening. Hopefully, you guys were entertained, informed, reduced anxiety.
Right.
Just chilled,
Mm-hmm.
having fun. And I think we probably should do this again.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I think so.
Think Larry's up for it?
Yeah.
Okay. So Frank wants to know which comedy. I don't know. Netflix had a bunch of them that came out recently. They're piling them on there, I think, just because of everything going on. We watched last night. What's his name? Bert Kushner.
Yeah.
Kushner. Something.
Kushner. I don't know. He always wears no shirt.
Yeah, he's a fat guy that wears no shirt, so he takes his shirt off to.
Hefty.
Yeah. Oh, you can't say fat anymore? By the way, don't you get me in this political correct crap. That's the dumbest thing society ever did was go politically correct. You can't say certain words. It's just dumb. It is so dumb. Here in 2 weeks, you can't say dumb anymore because it somebody's get upset about it. It's irritating. All right, with that irritating note, let's go laugh.
All right.
Anyway, we're gonna watch the Netflix movie and relax ourselves and get some jokes going. So hopefully something will be funny.
Right.
I don't ask for much, so I don't have a lot of free time. So the stuff I watch, like it may be a little racy, but a lot of it's funny. And so I watch Curb Your Enthusiasm and Family Guy. Although lately Family Guy, the jokes have kind of missed. They're usually more old school, like they're throwbacks. So there's a lot of references that are funny that they mix in just randomly, which I always thought was the funniest part of the show. Then sometimes they take these weird humor stretches I just don't get.
Right.
But, yeah, everybody's different, so they don't make the show just for me.
Right.
But anyway, all right, well, let's go laugh at some comedians.
Sounds good.
All right, everybody, thanks for watching tonight.
Thanks.
All right, we'll see you guys on another broadcast, and be safe out there.
Thanks.
Any parting words there, Canada?
Thanks for being so welcoming, and stay safe. Wash your hands.
Yeah, right. In case you never washed your hands before, maybe now's the time. All right, good night, everybody.
Good night.